What's going on? What's going on? Sorry I had to play music like that before having the conversation. I had to organize my pictures. At first, I was going to just show them, but then there's a certain order I want to go in when doing this research stream. So last night on the Chit Chat, there was a conversation about the dolls. And Amanda Kenny had brought up that the dolls were maybe designed to protect Tabitha. So, without further ado, and this is a research stream, so we don't have all the information organized. We don't have all the answers. We're kind of building the plane and finding it out together. So this is what I did stay up last night. So I kind of cheated y'all a little bit. I did stay up and do a little digging on what to put together to start the process of the research. And so here's where we're going to start. Make sure that you all can see this and not all right, so there's that, and then we're going to just try this out. Since there is extra space right here to the right of the picture, I'm going to put your comments behind me because I may have to, or I mean I don't have to, but I may end up editing out the music in the beginning. Let's see, can I make this bigger? Let me see. No, it won't let me. So it's a little bit bigger. I'm gonna try that. So not that. Okay, it's a little bit better. Okay, this seems a little bit better. All right, so all I'm doing is just putting the comments on the screen in case I got to edit the video, and then if I do that, then I lose the chat. So that's all I'm doing as far as that. Okay, that should be good. You know what? No, we'll do it like this. Forget it. What I was trying to do with the chat. Oh well. All right. So I may end up editing out the music and me taking a while to get started with the research stream. I guess we'll find out. All right. So I saw some people say that they emailed me some stuff. I'll look at that. Okay. So Amanda has just emailed, says poppets are person-shaped spell holders used for benign or healing purposes such as health, love, and protection, though they can occasionally be used for binding or banishing. Practitioners tie the doll to the target using a tag lock, like hair, nail clippings, or a photo, rather than just piercing it with pins. A spellcaster might untie, feed, or dress the poppet to positively influence the person it represents. A poppet and a voodoo doll are both effigies used in sympathetic magic to represent a person. While often used interchangeably in pop culture, they differ greatly in their origins. Poppets belong to European folk magic and Wicca, while the voodoo doll is largely a Hollywood myth. So the voodoo doll is a thing, because people who practice hoodoo would use a hoodoo doll, because voodoo is a faith-based system and hoodoo is the actual spell casting. But okay, as far as the poppets, I don't have any pushback as far as that. I will say this much, and you know we'll kind of go through it, and I have my email open for people to email and send stuff and whatnot while we do this research. So first, before we get started, we're gonna look at this. First, before we even get started with this, with the screenshots I have, we got to address the elephant in the room, and that is Tabitha as a child. We're assuming it's Tabitha. She was screaming and scared of the dolls when we first saw a child version of Tabitha. Let's see. Is it Thresholds? Let's see. So I know it wasn't Revelations. Maybe These Fragile Lives. Okay, so it's the episode called Scar Tissue, the season 3, episode 6. We're going to pull that up now. So we got to take into consideration at the end when Tabitha first, she saw a picture, a sketch that came out of Christopher's book, or not Christopher's book, but it just, she had a sketch of the totems that was underneath Christopher's book right here, and she's talking to Jade while Ethan is back here. looking at different pictures. So Tabitha looks at the sketch of the totem. She looks at it, and this is what makes her kind of remember being a child in the township. She remembers seeing the totem. This is her as a child. I guess a different actress than what we got in season 4. So she sees the totem. And so she saw the totem in the previous shot, and now she's walking towards either this totem or she's walking in front, and then she's going to go to where these rocks are. She looks up at the totem. So I'm assuming that she went to, I guess, this guy right here instead of going all the way over here. So this is the next shot. She looks up. She sees the thinner one. And then she's walking towards the rock that's closest to the screen. And now she's hiding. So she probably saw one of the dolls and is hiding behind the rock. And one of the dolls more than likely came like above the rock, and she's now looking at the doll. The doll is looking at her in this theory, because it hasn't been confirmed that she actually was looking at a doll. We kind of have to assume it because of what we saw season 4. And she's screaming, ah! All right. So she's screaming. This is season 3, episode 6, Scar Tissue. She's screaming after seeing what we think it's a doll going over the rock and, I guess, attacking her. So we have to assume that she's scared of the doll. So either she's never seen the doll before, or she's just afraid because of what she's seeing. But we got to assume that if she's scared, she's hiding and crouching down, that whatever is looking at her is looking frightful and fearful to where she is screaming. So we have to acknowledge that she's screaming and that something is looking at her. And based off what we see season 4, and we're going to get to that in a moment, that Tabitha sees the totem while one of the dolls is attacking Donna, and Tabitha remembers how to hurt the doll and does so. So what's going on everybody? How are you? Welcome. Yeah, sorry there was no pre-show or show. We're just doing a research stream. So what's going on, Raw 7388? How are you? House of Mystics, how are you? What's going on, Amanda? So House of Mystics says, what are we talking about? What are we listening to? Oh, it's just some music. While I was getting some last minute stuff set up for the research stream. Mike in the house. Well, if it ain't the usual suspects, I know, right? All right, so Joyce84, welcome. What's the theory? Fire mitts. Well, there's no actual. Well, Amanda presented a theory last night that we're looking into. So I have no actual topic, actual theory. It's just purely research on the dolls and anything else. What's going on, Heather? Unhinged. How are you? Welcome. All right, Incognito 1777. Hello. What's going on, Red Star 24? That might make sense because we never saw the dolls go after Tabitha or Ethan. Exactly. We never saw them go after Tabitha or Ethan, but we got to take into consideration that young Tabitha is scared of something. We're going to assume, I'm assuming it's the doll, like one of the dolls, because in season 4, she remembers how to hurt them, and I'm thinking that she remembers how to hurt them because someone saved her from the doll. So based off this vantage point, whatever is coming at her is addressing her, and we're seeing from the point of view of allegedly the doll. So the doll's facing her and the doll's coming at her, and Tabitha is scared. Young Tabitha's scared. Now remember the dolls, and I'll show you in a moment, the big dolls look like her smaller dolls, but they just look more frightful. So I'm sure she recognizes her own dolls that are giant sized, but she's afraid because they look fearful and frightful. Well, they look frightful. Like we saw in episode 5, they look with teeth and look dirty and dingy, and they're probably trying to attack her. That's why she's screaming like this. And someone more than likely came from behind and stabbed one, and that's how she remembered to use a totem to stab the doll. So, let's see. All right. Let's see. Miss Win LS, how are you? Welcome. Yep. Hopefully everybody is having a great Wednesday. Okay. Let's see. What's going on, Mita? How are you? Spade was saying mucho to read, so I'm trying video, but that like uncut in 5, but I make special project for y'all. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So Mita wants to be added to the email group. Okay, I think it's everybody that pretty much is commenting. I think I'm caught up with the chat. So let me go and add you right quick. Let's see. Okay. Mita wants to be added to the group email. All right, there you go. Okay, so that's done. Let's see. So far it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people, and that's not including myself. So there we go with that. All right, so I think I'm caught up with the email and caught up with the chat. All right, so yeah, so Tabitha she's scared and screaming, and we have to assume that the reason why Tabitha knows how to hurt them is because she saw someone hurt them in the past while she was a child. And we also have to assume that because we're looking at Tabitha from the point of view of whatever scared her, we have to kind of assume that it was one of the dolls. Now, and the reason why I say that is because if it was the man who threw the dolls into the lake, I don't think she would have that reaction to him, because it seemed like she had no reaction when he took her dolls. And then Tabitha even said that the man took the dolls from her because it gave him nightmares, threw it in the lake, and then when the man died, his nightmare came to life. So we have to assume that based off what Tabitha has said, that the dolls came to life after the man died. So it's not the man who's doing this based off what Tabitha told Donna in the cabin. So for right now, it's reasonable to believe that what we're looking at is from the point of view of a doll looking at her. All right, and so that's the end of that, and she's scared. And she basically says that she's been in a township before. Okay, so that is that. That is that. Does anybody need to hear the audio, or are we okay with my narrating? So Ross says she probably played Ring Around the Rosie with them dolls at one time. Probably did. Probably did. So Mita says Tabby is a witch. Well, I mean, they were her dolls that came to life. So Tabitha got some explaining to do. So, okay, so here's what we got going on. So this is episode 5. So they pull the dolls out of the lake. So it looks as if the rope has it to where the dolls cannot go further into the lake. And these dolls are different than the ones that Tabitha was playing with and that attacked the cabin. These are different dolls. So it could be that, and this is just a theory. It could be that these dolls were chasing after the evil dolls, but someone on the evil side put a rope on the good dolls to prevent them from continuing to pursue the bad dolls in the lake. That's what I'm thinking, because the way that this rope is, this is kind of how you would do a boat to keep a boat from going off into the lake or just going away from shore. You would tie it up to shore. So the way that this rope is around these dolls, it's as if to prevent the dolls from going further into the lake, as opposed to just holding them down. I mean, when they pull the dolls up, the dolls are full of water. They're full of water, and pay attention to this grass that's right here on top of the dolls. This probably is like seaweed or whatever, but it just appears that from this shot, this rope bound the dolls and prevented them from going further into the lake, probably prevented them from attacking the bad dolls. And this is a side shot of the good dolls that I believe that they're good dolls coming up, and they have the grass on top of them, grass from the lake, and these dolls look completely different from the dolls that attack the cabin. So gonna go to downloads. All right, so I put it in the thumbnail. We'll use this one. So I did put it as a thumbnail for this research stream, but when looking at this, putting them side by side, now young Tabitha had 3 dolls total. This doll definitely looks like this doll right here. And then the white doll is not in this picture, but the white doll looks like the white doll. And the white doll is the one that got stabbed. And then this brown doll looks like this brown guy right here. So we got brown doll, blue doll, and a white doll is not seen in this shot that I took from the episode. But the 3 dolls that Tabitha was playing with that gave the man nightmares are the giant dolls that attacked the cabin. So these giant dolls do not look like the dolls that were pulled out. So Donna, I think, was right in that these dolls were meant to keep the bad dolls in the lake. And someone, I think from the evil side, put a rope around the 3 dolls as they were pursuing the bad dolls and prevented them from being able to continue to pursue the bad dolls. And that's why the good dolls were tied to the side of the lake like they were. Oh, shit. Okay, I didn't mean to delete that, but it's easy to bring it back. All right, so these are the good dolls, and they even look different than Tabitha's dolls. They even look different than the dolls that ended up attacking the cabin, which, you know, we've already kind of discussed. And Donna was right that these were meant to stay in the lake to prevent something worse from coming out, which the bad dolls. And so this is them. They cut the dolls open and put rocks in. The two things they did not do was they didn't add this grass on top of the dolls, and they didn't tie the dolls up. But I think, so the one thing I think is that the good dolls were held in the lake by supernatural forces, because if the dolls were hard to pull out of the lake with the rope, and it took like 3 people, and even then it was a struggle. I mean, yeah, it was a struggle getting them out the lake. So if it's a struggle to get them out the lake, it should be easier to put them back in. But I think where they messed up at was cutting them open and adding the rocks, because I think the rocks prevented them from continuing to be alive in the lake. Like I think in the Lake of Tears, and I think this is the Lake of Tears, that stuff comes alive at nighttime. So it's not just the lake, but it's being alive at nighttime is what allows stuff to be alive. Like I wouldn't be surprised if of episode 6, the bird that Ethan had put water on comes to life at nighttime. But then again, you may also need some type of incantation or spell, because we heard singing while everyone was in the cabin, and then here comes the dolls busting into the cabin. So I think putting the rocks in the good dolls prevented them at nighttime from coming alive to continue to keep the bad dolls in the lake. So my theory is that a long time ago, young Tabitha saw the bad dolls that she was playing with be defeated. And they were defeated with the totems, like she did later on in the episode during the nighttime scene. And in defeating them, the bad dolls were put into the lake, and then good dolls were created, similar to like Fatima's golem. And they were like, they became protectors. But then the evil side engaged them, and as and maybe singing was done, like we heard in the log cabin when people were in there, maybe singing was done, incantation was done to make the bad dolls come back to life, and the good dolls may have came to life to engage the bad dolls, and then the good dolls won, and whoever was singing, maybe the fairies or fae or whatever, put the rope around the good dolls while the good dolls were pursuing the bad dolls in the lake. And that prevented the good dolls from actually destroying the bad dolls once and for all. And that's the reason why the good dolls were in the lake like they were. And it was hard to pull them out like they did, because the good dolls were continuously trying to get at the bad dolls every night, but were prevented from doing so with the rope that had bound them and was attached to them. Right. So Incognito, you're right. She said, I remembered how to hurt them. So it's more than likely that the dolls were hurt when she was younger, and then the evil dolls were put in the lake. So maybe I misspoke and said that they killed them, but they hurt the dolls, and that's why they put the bad dolls in the lake, because there's no way to actually kill them. And that's why good dolls were created, to prevent the bad dolls from going from in the lake onto land. So Amanda says the dolls could be similar to a golem. Protecting someone from harm can be viewed as a gray area. An attack is an attack. Yelling at someone or punching them is still harmful. Well, so the only so I agree with that. Only thing is, in the scene with Tabitha as a child, it appeared that one of the dolls was engaging Tabitha as a child. So if they're protecting Tabitha, there wouldn't be a doll seemingly engaging Tabitha and making her hide, making her afraid, making her scream. So it could be that the evil dolls were just attacking whoever was around, and the dolls could be, instead of protecting Tabitha, protecting the township. And that would kind of be a reason why, and that would be a good reason why Tabitha as a child is being engaged. Because in saying that people have hurt Tabitha as, let's say, a child, that could be the case, but we're looking at Tabitha being engaged. Let me pull it back up. That's the only part, is that Tabitha is the one as a child who's being engaged. So I think the reason why we have it to where Tabitha is being scared, and she, as an adult, while remembering the moment, she still is kind of frightened in the scene, is because she was getting engaged by the dolls like everybody else. And maybe let's see. Because that's like the main thing that would prevent the idea of the dolls being protective of Tabitha, is that we have this scene right here where Tabitha seems to be engaged by the dolls. And remember, in the log cabin, when Tabitha remembered the dolls and was telling people, we gotta leave right now, the talisman stones won't protect us, it's almost like she knows that, like, she knows about the talisman stones even back when she was a child, to know the talisman stones won't protect them. And then she remembers the dolls. Because if the doll, let's say if this scene had played out to where she was scared, but then the doll didn't attack her and just like left her alone, there's no way to know that she was protected, because I'm assuming that the dolls had to be defeated. And the dolls more than likely took a bunch of lives, and it's more than likely that the doll saw Tabitha and didn't stop and like be friendly to her, or just stop and engage someone else, simply because we have this right here, and Tabitha was saying we got to leave right now, and that it seemed like there was no other way to get out of that situation besides leaving the log cabin or attacking the dolls and hurting them. So this scene right here in season 3, episode 6 is just the only reason why I would say that if they're trying to protect Tabitha, it's an abusive relationship just because of this right here. However, if the dolls were trying to protect the township, then that would kind of have a reason as to why Tabitha remembers being afraid, and we don't get any other scenes. I mean, maybe episode 6 or later on, we may get some scenes that may say something different as far as after this interaction. But because we don't get anything else from Tabitha saying that they pick and choose victims or they went after me and they stopped, we have to kind of assume that the reason why young Tabitha possibly survived this is because someone attacked the doll, and that's what she remembers in order for, in episode 5, to attack the doll with a totem and it will work. Now, if Tabitha did not survive this encounter, then she wouldn't have knowledge as to how to hurt them. So I think her remembering how to hurt them, and all we've seen as far as a previous version of Tabitha is this girl, is reasonable to believe that Tabitha did not die here. She did survive, and she witnessed someone attacking the doll, and that's how she knows how to hurt the dolls. So I think it's understandable to say that the evil dolls were protecting the township. And as far as protecting her, I don't know. Because Tabitha didn't really seem to be in trouble in the cabin when the doll busted in like Kool-Aid. Tabitha was just in there, just hanging out, and then we heard the singing, and then Tabitha's like, "Oh, we gotta leave. The talisman stone's not gonna protect us." So until we get more as far as her being a child and the dolls protecting her from someone, I think it's reasonable to believe that possibly the dolls were hostile to her until someone stabbed the doll, and that's how she knows or remembered how to hurt them. And remember, the man who took the dolls from her and threw them in the lake, the dolls didn't come to life, which was his nightmare, until the man died. So we can't say that it was the man hurting her. And that's what made the dolls come to life and protect her, because they came to life after he died. It's as if the Lake of Tears makes whatever is put into it a nightmare, unless you do something special like with the good dolls. So Mita says, dolls like Golem, they don't know right from wrong. So going down that vein, Mita, then that means the dolls wouldn't know to protect Tabitha if they don't know right from wrong. They're attacking indiscriminately. And I would agree with that they basically are just destroying whatever they view as a threat. So it's not necessarily that they could be protecting something. It could be that they're just there to destroy anything that they deem a threat, which would be people, which kind of would still go along the vein of that the evil dolls that were hurting people were just hurting people just to be doing it. There was no actual rhyme or reason to it. So, Amanda, you're saying the dolls could be trying to hold her, protect her? When you think about it, okay, if you saw the dolls come to life and they're looking crazy, they're running around with teeth looking crazy, would you let the dolls get close to Tabitha as a child to see what would happen, or stab the dolls? Because, For young Tabitha to be screaming like this, in my opinion, she's afraid of what she sees, and the dolls look gruesome and they look terrifying. So I don't know. I mean, they were her dolls until they were thrown in the lake, and after the man died, they became nightmare dolls. And I don't know. I think there really is no way to. I think there really is no way to really know. Would Tabitha survive? Would Tabitha have survived as a child or an adult if someone did not attack the doll? I think there's no way to really know, and it comes down to would you risk a teddy bear's life and use them as bait to see what the dolls would do? So Mel Ryan says, was the singing a signal for the puppets to attack or a warning that the puppets are coming to attack? So we don't know, but based off of Tabitha's reaction in the cabin, it seemed like once Tabitha heard the singing, that's when she, in my opinion, remembered that the dolls are going to attack based off that singing. And remember, there were 3 dolls, not just 1, but 3. So let's just say one of the dolls was stopped by somebody saving Tabitha or trying to protect Tabitha. Now you got 2 other dolls. So we'll have to see what is said for the rest of the series, because the same thing could be said about the monsters that come out at night from the cave, that the monsters are protecting the boy in white or protecting Victor, because we don't see the monsters attacking the boy in white or attacking Victor. So it is possible to say that something is protecting something when you don't see it attack it. But then again, it could be that it just didn't choose that person as a target. So I take a screenshot of this. I think we're good on this as far as looking at this piece. But personally, I don't think there are wrong answers. I think every answer is right. I think every answer is valid. I think it's very much possible that the reason Tabitha knows about the dolls is because they were her dolls, which we saw, and maybe she was controlling them as a child, or maybe they were trying to protect her. I know that the woman whose face got burnt, she's gonna blame Tabitha all the way over here. So I think that people in town are going to say, these are Tabitha's dolls. This is her doing. Whether they were trying to protect Tabitha or not, Tabitha's going to get blamed. And I think, just like Miranda, Tabitha's going to end up being ostracized, and people are going to say those evil dolls are hers. They were trying to protect her. Tabitha's got to go. And I agree. Seeing Tabitha play with the dolls and she was a child, Tabitha, you got some explaining to do. Because your dolls are running amok, and there's people who think the dolls are protecting you and attacking people to help you and protect you. So guess what? You got to go. Tabitha's finna be in the root cellar, living in the root cellar, because Tabitha will get blamed because she knew information, even though people saw her attack one of the dolls. That's what I think. That's what's going to happen with, I think her name is Patty. Patty's going to start the rumor. These are Tabitha's dolls. She knew about them. They came to life to protect her. Tabitha's got to go. Just that fast. Just that fast. So these are the good dolls that look completely different than the evil dolls and the dolls that Tabitha was playing with. And so, Yeah, cutting the dolls open, taking stuff out of them. It may be that adding things to the dolls that wasn't meant to be inside of them is the reason why they no longer went to the bottom to prevent the evil ones from coming up. Yeah. So there you go. Because remember, it took a lot of effort to get the dolls out. So putting rocks in the dolls should have been a red flag. It took everything to get the dolls out. Let's put them back in the same way we that they were in the lake. And the answer would have been adding this grass back on top of them, tying the dolls back up, and then instead of like kicking the dolls into the lake, it should have been tying them back up like they were, putting the grass on them, and then just kind of dragging them into the lake and getting in the lake yourself. Yeah, you see how right now you got Ellis. He doesn't really want to get completely in the lake, so he's using a stick to push him. No, 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 no. The same way you took them out is how they got to go back in. But then again, when somebody initially, I guess, created the good dolls, they may have did a spell or something or incantation. Tabitha remembered the dolls too late, at least the good ones. But then again, I don't think she ever really remembered the good dolls. Yeah. Yep, pushing them in the lake and having them different than how they took them out, that was like the biggest mistake. And if you notice, I think one thing to hint at, right, House of Mystic says Ellis was flexing his muscles. Yeah, he was. If you notice, look at all the trees right here. All the trees seem normal and perfect, or not perfect, but they seem like standard trees. But this tree right here has nothing growing on it. I think that's a hint that this lake is bad and that anything that's maybe close to the edge or in this area is going to either die or going to be affected in a negative way. And that's why you have all of this vegetation here, even wild vegetables there. But this one tree looks like it's just dying. No leaves on it, and it looks like it's dying. These other trees even look like they have a tint of green, like trees normally do, but this tree right here is completely white. That's another sign. And in this area right here, where there's no vegetation, those are two signs that, in my opinion, that this lake is bad. So Eugene said, did you notice that Patty's burn looks like the Pilgrim woman's painting? You mean in Henry's basement? In Henry's basement? Yep, and this was kind of like a fake out, making us think that Donna wasn't going to make it, and she did. So this is two of the dolls up close, the brown and the blue. And then the man comes and grabs them. Okay, that's the man right there. So we're gonna compare him to a version of Jade to see, do they look alike? Is this the same man? Yeah, so I don't have. All right, I got to pull the episode up. Let's see. So that's what a long, strange trip has been. Okay, let's compare. Let me screenshot this. All right, here we go. Is this the same guy? So right here, seeing them side by side, I do not think it is the same guy. This is the best shot that we're gonna get of him. I don't think it's the same guy. So what we could do. Okay, so okay, so um, all right, so I don't think it's the same person, and here's another reason why I don't think it's the same person. We can kind of put that to rest. So in the credits, it's got Patty for those. All right, so Tabitha referred to the guy as the man, and I'm gonna say that man is Evan Jesso, and that is the man that is to the right that grabbed the dolls. That is the man or man. And then going over Colonial Man, his name is Sean, a completely different actor. So I'm thinking case solved on that. That is not Jade, who is the man. This is not Jade, not Tabitha's husband in the past. I think it's case closed on that. So Incognito, I guess he was. So Colonial Man is this guy right here. This is Colonial Man, and this is Colonial Man, and this is Man. Two different actors. So Incognito says the lights clicking is where someone is story walking. Could be. Could be. So Amanda says, my loving mom saw me go too close to the ocean. She freaked. She yelled and yanked me back. I was shakingly scared, but was quickly consoled. I remember, not perfect example, trying to show kids reaction. So Missy Pooh 22 also kind of uh, is same mind as Amanda, saying that Missy Pooh believes that the dolls were trying to protect Tabitha and they were involved in witchcraft. Okay. Well, guess what? Patty's going to be thinking the same thing, and that's what's going to cause Tabitha to probably be blamed for a lot of the stuff in the township. So I think we're good with this. So I'm going to take this down. So it's confirmed. The show is not going in the direction of having Jade be a grown man married to Tabitha while she was a teddy bear. Okay, so yeah, he's got two dolls in his hand, and magically a white doll, a doll with a white dress, appears out of nowhere. And now he's got the three dolls. So these three dolls were his nightmare. His nightmare. And he threw the dolls in the river because the dolls were giving him nightmares. Tabitha's behind the tree looking. It's almost as if she's looking scared. And the dolls are in the lake of tears. And then we get another shot of Tabitha looking at the totem. This is one of the blue dolls. That's the blue doll up close, the brown doll up close. Yeah, these dolls look similar to like some hoodoo dolls or some voodoo dolls. That could be that could be the reason why he was getting nightmares. I mean, he doesn't have on brown, but they were giving him nightmares. Then he died and the nightmares came to life. So we can see that during this period of time when she had these dolls, there appears to be a totem right here or something right here. Maybe it's just a tree. But she's definitely looking at a totem. We don't know how much time has passed between the dolls, I guess, being given to her, the dolls being thrown in the lake, and the man dying. But it's the same actress. And now she's looking at the dolls. I mean, now she's looking at the totem. So we don't know if the totems were created with the dolls, after the dolls were thrown in the lake, or the totems were made before the dolls were made. We don't know. But the way that the events are going is as if just kind of seeing this right here, this may be someone constructing a totem but hasn't completed it yet. But again, we don't know how much time has passed between the man grabbing the dolls and throwing them in the lake. And I want to know who is this man in relation to Tabitha? I mean, Tabitha's a teddy bear playing with dolls, minding her own business, and then here comes a man. So who's the man? And he does not look like a pilgrim. He looks kind of like this is as if it's like the maybe early 1900s or something. Yeah, he looks like this is maybe the 1900s. What do y'all think? He looks like Jade Skull guy. Well, no. We've already established that's two different actors. So he may look similar to him, but we've already established two different actors. Okay, got a something else from Amanda. Okay, so wait a minute, what? Uh-oh. So AI has summed it up. I guess AI, well, let's see. I think AI read Amanda's screenshot of her notes. So AI is saying Amanda shared page 10 from her notes regarding Victor's unreliable testimony about a bottle tree incident. Discussion centers on Victor's conflicting accounts involving Christopher, Tabitha, Eloise, and Boy in White, season 2, episode 9. So remember, AI is watching the show too, y'all. AI is watching the show, and AI is also reading your notes. If AI starts theorizing using y'all's notes, don't be surprised. Yeah, House of Mystics is saying, hey, Amanda, you've been AI'd. Matter of fact, well, I don't want to put her address out there, but I'm going to show y'all. Yeah, it's AI is right here. I don't want to put an address out there and y'all be spamming her or whatever, but yeah, this is AI right here. AI is right here. Amanda shared page 10 from notes regarding Victor's unreliable testimony about a bottle tree incident. Discussion centers on Victor's conflicting accounts involving Christopher, Tabitha, Eloise, and Boy in White, season 2, episode 9. So there it is. AI is reading your homework. AI is looking at your test. There it is. Now, I've already known this. This is my first time really saying anything. Now, Amanda, if you want me to show your actual notes, let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Mike says Amanda got more notes than a piano factory. There it is. So, Mita, I appreciate it. Heather Unhinged says, I think that's just an AI summary feature simplifying the contents of your email. I mean, um, okay, yeah, because Amanda said something about the notes. Because what was in the email that was forwarded from yeah, what AI has summed up, it's not in the body of the email that Amanda sent. So I don't know. Yeah, so it's got some stuff from Lisa. But anyway, so let it be known. I guess even AI is bored of my notes. Let's see. Okay, yeah, AI was wrong. It's not about Victor. Amanda has given permission to show the notes. Let's do it. Let's look at this handwriting. So when Amanda showed the notes, showed all these notes last time, it was like pages. I was like, hey, it's time for you to get on a panel. It's time for you to get on a panel. It's time for you to get on a panel. It's time for you to get on a panel. All right, let's see. All right, sorry about that. Okay, let's do it. So yes, Mel Ryan music does seem to be very important in From. All right, so Red Shirt Doll, the one Donna stabbed earlier or cut open, became the Kool-Aid Man, kills one man, everyone ran out of the cabin. This cabin seemed bigger. I don't know, the cabin seemed like the same size. I think it's just that the camera showed more of the cabin because there were so many people. Why would Tabitha's dolls attack her? Wouldn't the dolls want to protect her, especially if they weren't just dolls? Well, what if those were not Tabitha's dolls? She was just playing with them. So when it comes to like saying that they're Tabitha's dolls, my question would be, did Tabitha make them? Were they gifted to Tabitha? How long did she have the dolls? Because and then again, also, how long has the man known Tabitha? It's a lot that the show needs to present to us because we saw Tabitha playing with the dolls, but then again, it's did Tabitha make the dolls? Were they gifted to her? Are they even her dolls? Where were her parents while this man is taking her property? But yeah, if they're Tabitha's dolls, I mean, they you would think they would protect her. So I get what you're saying about that. Like the dolls, if they're her dolls, they should be protecting her and doing her bidding, unless someone made the dolls with nefarious intentions and gave them to Tabitha as a way to infiltrate their community, similar to how the man in yellow became Sophia to infiltrate the community. Ellis trying to be protector. Well, he tried. He tried to save what's his face. After the doll pushed him against the wall, Ellis bounced. We'll look at that in a moment. The head talisman thing worked to kill one of the doll's puppets. What? The head talisman thing worked The third doll, arms on fire, turns and walks away. Did the third doll turn away because they don't want to hurt Tabitha? She wasn't personally attacked by the other two dolls either. Maybe they saw the others in the cabin as evil, bad, and were trying to protect Tabitha. Dolls, puppets, golems. Oh, let me get the rest of this page. So Colony House, basement, door opened. Does Boyd see the lights too? No more spiders. Tunnels aren't that close. Yes, they are. What? I think Amanda was arguing with herself. Tunnels aren't that close. Then there's a yes, they are. So maybe it was good Amanda versus bad Amanda. I don't know. Okay, okay. So, I mean, it does make sense. If they're Tabitha's dolls, why wouldn't they protect Tabitha? Why hurt Tabitha? That does make sense as far as like them being her dolls. But then again, were they her dolls or someone else made them and gave them to her? Or she saw them somewhere and picked them up and just were kind of playing with them. So I guess Jessica's hungry because she emailed about peach cobbler. Okay. Okay. So that's all I have as far as email. So yeah, so Tabitha, we're gonna listen to what she said in the cabin about the dolls. And notice how this brown doll is happy and this doll is sad. We can't see the other doll, the doll in the white dress up close. We can't see that. So okay. Matter of fact, let me do this. Uh-oh. Okay, let's go to the episode. And I think the Civil War soldier, the black one, was shooting at Jade to prevent him from learning the truth. As in, if you learn the truth, you die. And the ones that don't learn the truth or don't remember who they were, maybe they're the ones that had a better fate. Yeah, I think it's just with the log cabin. They just shot it from an angle that makes it look larger because it had a bigger cast. So House of Mystic says, I agree. Maybe the doll maker made the doll to protect the little girl. Well, okay. Um, hmm. would someone make dolls to protect a child? And I'm going to say it's possible, especially if the child is in danger. Because for all we know, the doll maker could have been Tabitha's mom. I don't know, because we don't really know much about Tabitha when she was, I guess, the original version of her as a child. Or we don't know much about the past when it comes to Tabitha. I think that the reason why she had the dolls is someone gave them to her. Yeah, I think someone just gave her the dolls. And if you look at the scene, there's a tire wheel off of a stagecoach, as if they're changing the tire, but the tire doesn't look like it's damaged or anything, like it needs to be changed. And kind of looking around, all we really see is a tire. But we do see totems. So it could be, okay, here's one theory. It could be that this guy broke down in the wilderness, and maybe Native Americans were helping him, and one of the people from her tribe gave her the dolls. And he's been having nightmares about the dolls. That's why he took them away. Because, you know, sometimes people who are colonizers, they feel entitled when they view local population as less than. So maybe that's why he felt so inclined to take them and throw him in the lake versus asking questions. Because Tabitha referring to him as the man, in my opinion, would mean that when Tabitha's remembering the event, she doesn't even really know this guy that well to refer to him as the man. Right, so the why of the dolls, I mean, the dolls look like regular dolls. They don't look harmful at all. But then again, these could be dolls that were made to resemble the colonists or whatever this guy is. It could have been made to resemble this guy and as a way to attack them. Like, her people had a problem with them, and the dolls were one of many methods to make them go away. And that's why he had the nightmares. So she could be Native American. Her people made these dolls to make them want to leave. I mean, we see the tire off of the stagecoach, and it could be like, hey, you overstayed your welcome. And this right here, it looks like somebody was making a totem, and it could be whoever made the dolls also was making the totem to protect their people. But the dolls were created to give them nightmares, to make them go away. Oh, it's okay. So Amanda says, sorry, it's hard to explain, and a limited character box. It's all good. Yeah, so I'm thinking that's what it is that the dolls were made to make he and his people go away, and the intention was to give him nightmares. So it wasn't necessarily, I mean, in my opinion, it wasn't necessarily to protect Tabitha or to protect the township, but it was to make he and his people go away by putting curses on them. So if we go back to the scene, if we're going by that logic, and just hear me out, if we're going by that logic, then it could be that it wasn't about necessarily protecting Tabitha, but it could have been to get rid of outsiders. So it could be that, yeah, it is protecting Tabitha per se, but it's really about engaging outsiders who are not Native American, if you will. So that's my take on it. That the reason why the man was getting nightmares a long time ago is because the dolls were created to give them nightmares. And the dolls look just like how the colonizers dressed. And so he threw them in the lake. And I think throwing them in the lake did make them come to life. I think they came to life because more was done to make them do more than just simply give nightmares. So I think the same way that Fatima is making a golem, someone made the dolls to harm people who are not a part of the tribe of people who made the dolls. And then when he threw them in the lake, it's like, oh, okay, because you got rid of the dolls, there's no more nightmares, but now let me do more and have them come to life to physically drive you out. So giving you nightmares is not making you want to leave and leave our land and leave us alone. So now we're going to make the dolls come to life and attack. And I think the reason why there were good dolls created is because, just like in American history, you had some Native Americans who were for working with the colonizers, and they have casinos today. They got casinos, they got their own nation, and they got reparations by making a deal with the colonizers. Then you have the Native Americans who did not make a deal, and basically Native Americans plus the colonizers attacked them, and now they're poor. If you know, you know. I spent some time in Oklahoma, and this is what I've observed and what was told to me. You got those that worked with the colonizers and they are benefiting now, and those who stayed true to themselves and they basically are poor and living off the land, in my opinion. So I think that's what's going on with this situation, and that Tabitha may have been a Native American who was part of the tribe that was wanting to get rid of the colonizers, and Native Americans who were for helping the colonizers made the quote unquote good dolls. And that's the reason why you had the good dolls, based off what we're seeing on the show, tied up to the side of the lake and somewhat restricted from going into the lake to attack the dolls that Tabitha was playing with that was originally giving people nightmares. So I think it's more of a perspective as far as how we look at it. I know some people are like the dolls were made to protect Tabitha and they attacked people because they were defending Tabitha and they were indiscriminate. Whereas I'm looking at it in my theory that the dolls were created by the same people that Tabitha belonged to as far as a tribe, and the dolls were created to give people, the colonizers, nightmares for them to leave, but they did not leave. And so when the man threw the dolls into the lake, her people upped the ante and made the dolls come to life to physically harm them and get them to leave through death. And so when Tabitha was screaming, she saw one of the dolls come to life. The doll didn't attack her because of the tribe that she belongs to, her bloodline and her people. And one of the Native Americans who was for the colonists is who stabbed the doll in the back. And that's what Tabitha witnessed to understand how to hurt the dolls. So T. Reed says that's what's not true. There's a lot of corruption in tribes. Tribal leaders are responsible for investing and passing the money down. The poor tribes get the same amount of money as other tribes. I don't know. Because the poor tribes that do not live on reservations, that live in the United States of America, they seem to not be doing as well as those who have their own nation, from what I've observed. So T. Reed says they never see the bread. Yeah, they do. They get reparations every year. Like it's like $200 or $300, and they spend it on beer. But I mean, still. So you're right. Everybody gets reparations. It's just that the ones that live on the reservation, they seem to be doing better than those that are in America trying to get a job, trying to work a regular job like the rest of us. So if you're saying that the ones, I mean, on the reservation, there is crime, there is drunkenness, there is poverty, but it just seems to me, based off what I've observed and what I've been told, the ones that are poor, they're poor because they didn't make the deal. And the ones that are doing well, they made deals with the colonists. I mean, how are you going to get reparations to the point where you're able to buy casinos if you're not making a deal? How can you have a quote unquote nation the size of a city if you don't make a deal? So no. The ones that live off the reservation gets the same amount of money. The tribal leaders don't pass it down. I mean, yeah, so the ones that are living on the reservation, that's their own land. That's federal land. The ones that live in America, not on a reservation, they're the ones that, I mean, they're not doing as good as the ones that are on the reservation. Hold on one moment. Hold on. All right, I'm back. All right, so T. Reed. So what I believe is what I know from living in Oklahoma and living next to people who were Native American and not living on reservations. Like, yeah, the people who do not live on reservations, they have they have Native American hospitals. They do have resources, but it's like poor is poor. So T. Reed says they aren't doing as good because their tribal leaders hold their money back. They only give them enough to buy booze and drugs. Well, I mean, if I mean, think about it. Think about what your statement is saying. They aren't doing as good because their tribal leaders hold their money back. So they're getting enough money for booze and drugs, but not all their money. And that's both the leaders on the reservation and off the reservation, because belonging to a tribe doesn't necessarily mean that you're on or off a reservation. It's just that those are your people. So yeah, there's crime and corruption on the reservation and off the reservation. What I'm saying is that the people who are poor in America, they're not making any deals. The people who are doing well on the reservation and people who are rich Native Americans, they've made deals. So it's like you could be poor on the reservation or poor in America. The people who are doing well, they've made deals with the colonists. Those who are not doing well and are poor, they haven't made any deals. Because I mean, think about it. How can you be poor? How can you be poor if you're making enough money to be middle class or higher? And the answer is that the people who are poor, they're not working. They're not getting any money. So I don't know your take on it. It seems like you're making it seem like the people who are on the reservations are doing worse than the ones not on the reservation. And I'm like, we have to agree to disagree, because I'm going off of what I've seen in Oklahoma with those tribes and those people. And you're going off of, you said South Dakota and those tribes and those people. So I've never been to South Dakota, so I can't verify what's going on there. I don't know if you've ever been to Oklahoma, two different states. But in this theory, Tabitha's dolls, in my opinion, were made by her people, and the dolls gave the man nightmares because that was the intention. When he threw the dolls in the lake, her people amped whatever energy or supernatural force that was put into the dolls to make the dolls come to life and do more than give them nightmares, trying to drive them away. And it may be that the reason why he died was his death was used to power the dolls and make them come to life. Because Tabitha said in the cabin that after the man died, the dolls came to life. So Jessica says her daughter can have a house built for her when she turns 18, but she has to move to a reservation. Right. If I'm saying the reservation, which is federal land, seems to be better than what's going on with Native Americans in America. The difference between going on a reservation and not living on a reservation is it's all about tribes and bloodline and all that. They keep very good records of their bloodline and who they allow to live on the reservation and who cannot. So Jessica says not paying taxes is a big deal in my opinion. Yeah, not paying taxes to America is a big deal. Now, I don't know if they pay taxes on the reservation. I'm sure they have some way to maintain their country, but a reservation, which is like the size of a city, well, sometimes larger, maybe the size of a county, but their federal land is considered a nation, like it's a nation within a nation. So T. Reed says the Pine Ridge Reservation gets millions from the government, but they are the poorest reservation in the country, but their tribal leaders drive BMWs. So that's what I'm saying. Okay, we're agreeing that the people who have made a deal with the government, with the colonizers, they're doing better than those who have not made a deal with the colonizers. Their tribal leaders drive BMWs. So if the tribal leaders are preventing money from going to their people, that's their business. That's their business. And of course, there's corruption and crime on a reservation and off. All I'm saying is that the people who are doing better have made a deal with the colonizers. Those who have not made any deals, they're not doing too well. So we agree. We agree. So in my opinion, until we learn more information, my theory is that Native Americans who wanted to help the colonizers, those are the ones who stabbed the dolls. And Tabitha saw the dolls get stabbed by the Native Americans who wanted to help the colonizers, and that's how she knows how to hurt them. And the reason why the dolls attacked the cabin is because they basically were attacking people who are not a part of the tribe that created the dolls to begin with. So in a way, you could say that the dolls were protecting Tabitha, but to me, it's the other way of looking at it, as in the dolls were attacking everyone who was not Tabitha, because Tabitha wasn't needing any protection right here. Tabitha was not in any danger from these people in here. She wasn't screaming or crying, no danger. But the doll busted in like Kool-Aid because they're not a part of her bloodline or her tribe. So she and Ethan were fine. Maybe even Victor would be fine. But everyone else who's not a part of that tribe, you're considered a colonizer. You got to go. You got to go. And I think that's what we saw. It's subjective and based off perspective. But like Amanda was saying, the dolls were protecting Tabitha, whereas I look at it, the dolls were attacking everyone who was not Tabitha and Ethan. So it's kind of like two different sides of the same coin when looking at it. Right, so T. Reed, right, we're on the same page. So T. Reed and I, we are on the same page. We can do a high five. We are in this thing together. We agree. We did it, y'all. We did it. We did it. If I didn't know the show writers, I could get down with your theories. If you didn't know one of the show writers, whoa. So T. Reed, what are you saying? If you didn't know one of the show writers, you could get down with the theory. So you're saying that you have the answer as to how the dolls operate because you know one of the show writers? Hold on now. Every now and then, someone comes in and we got to give them the side eye. Have you seen the entire season 4? Anytime I don't see somebody in blue, I'm like, wait a minute. Who are you? Where'd you come from? So House of Mystic says, it's all a scam if you live in U.S., period. Everybody pays the piper except the thieves who built the system. You know what? I agree. So Amanda says Tabitha is always in trouble, but in this, we know Tabitha and Jade are harmed each cycle, impending or imminent danger is still danger harm. Maybe beating the harm to the punchline. Could be. And guess what? They did beat somebody to the punchline. Roger lost his jaw. And Patty lost her face. So you're right. I agree that the dolls were beating them to the punchline and beating them down. The dolls did their job. So I think we're all on the same page. It took us an hour and 30 minutes, but I think we're all on the same page. We could all hold hands, put the talisman stone up, and we're good. I think we could put the talisman stone up. We're ready to face what's on the outside. Hold on, do I have yeah, I don't have Boyd ringing the bell right now. I'd ring that bell. Oh, you know what? Let me show y'all this. Let me show you the scam right quick. This scam. Oh, you know what? No, not that one. Not that one. Oh, and also, for those of y'all keeping track of stuff, I have yet to see what this is about. Y'all remember this picture was going around the internets, people saying this was going to be a thing. I did a whole video on this. We're heading towards episode 6, and we have not seen this scene at all. This might be some fan fiction stuff and was a waste of time. All right, I just saw this on my different pictures and was like, you know what? I think we've been scammed. Yeah, I thought I had one of the dolls in blue. And the queue that I have, but I guess not. It's not really important to the stream. I just wanted to complain. All right. Yeah, Amanda, you're right. Our loved ones can hurt us more than a stranger. You're right. So Jessica says we are on the same page now. No bookmark needed. Exactly. We're all on page 11, according to Mike. Yes. We are in this thing. So Heather Unhinged says page 97 slaps. What? What? All right. So we're going to listen to this. This is Tabitha talking about them dolls. Hold up. Has anybody emailed me anything? Let me double check for moving on. Okay. I think I'm caught up with the email. Okay. Yay me. Let's see. Mita says it's all raw, but wanted to show y'all love and something special. What? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I made this amazing video with CapCut. Uh-oh. Wait a minute now. Oh, no. Oh man. So okay, you know what? It gave the option to like log in, and I made the mistake of okay, we're back. So don't log in. What is this? So this is Mita's video. What is going on? Uh so Mita it looks like Mita made a video, just like a random video. I don't know. Okay, tap the link and try it out. What? I don't. Is this the video? Is okay, so what is going on? Is Mita in the audience? Because this is kind of like a random video. When I say random, it's like it's not really anybody in the show in the video, and then like Mita's not even in the video. Like, what is this? I guess she learned to edit for the first time. Is editing stock images or something? Okay. You know what? Sorry, Mita. I don't know. I don't understand. So I don't know what to do with that. So the red utility van, it might not arrive because we're on season 4, talking about Mel Ryan. I mean, we're on season 4, so it may never arrive. The creator, John Griffin, has even said that there's going to be a lot of stuff that's presented on the show that's kind of like a thing that may not be addressed. Let's see. Okay, this was from 5 days ago from Amanda. Okay, so she graduated from university. Oh, okay. You know what? She's responding to something else. Okay. Okay. So I think I'm caught up. People talking about Twin Peaks. Okay. Oh, this is the group email. Okay. Okay. So I think I'm caught up. All right. We're going to go to listening to Tabitha talk about these dolls. Okay. Yeah, it's hard taking me so long. I'm just looking at everything before we hear Tabitha mention her dolls, the creepy dolls.
Sometimes I forget he's just a kid. He always seems so grown up.
It's always been like that. Jim used to call him the little professor. So curious and full of questions.
Maybe you can figure out what's in the goddamn lake. Stop it.
Roger is tripping. Maybe he'll figure out what's in the lake. Oh, man.
Sorry.
How much longer till sunrise?
5 minutes less than the last time someone asked. Just try to get some sleep.
You're joking, right?
All we have to do is hold on until the morning. When we can get the hell out of here and back to the nightmare we understand. The long walk in the mornings.
Okay, that probably is Tabitha as a child doing that humming. What do y'all think? That's why Tabitha remembered about the dolls, because she's hearing herself humming or serenading or singing or whatever.
The hell is that?
Tabitha?
I know that sound. The dolls. They were smaller.
Okay, yeah, it is Tabitha. A younger Tabitha, yeah. Tabitha the Witch. There you go, House of Mystics. Tabitha the Witch. For all we know, Tabitha is the one, when she was younger, she may have made the dolls come to life and start attacking people.
They were mine. I was playing with them.
Oh, they were mine. I was playing with it. Okay. That's all I need to hear. So they were Tabitha's dolls.
What is she talking about?
Shh. Mom?
What else?
A man, he was angry. He came and took them from me. He said they gave him nightmares, so he threw them in the lake. But one day the man died, and his nightmares came out of the lake.
And the next scene is where Tabitha's at the rocks. Yeah, so it's confirmed that the scene where Tabitha is screaming at the rocks and looking up, those are the dolls.
Oh my God, Donna, we have to go. We have to go. Tabitha, we can't. Donna, do you understand? You understand? We're not safe here. We have to go.
So Tabitha's saying, we're not safe here. So I think, I don't know. I mean, we need more information episode 6 on out, but for all we know, maybe Tabitha was attacked. That's why she says we're not safe here. Or maybe she's just assuming that she's not safe, but she doesn't really know for sure because the dolls never actually attacked her. So Amanda says that Tabitha and Victor need to take the shrooms to be just like Jade. Might be more helpful than all of a sudden remembering, quote unquote, at the last moment. Yeah, I agree. This whole remembering stuff when it's convenient for you is causing people to lose their jaws and lose their faces. Talking about Roger and Patty.
don't know. Tell us, will protect us more from this. How do you know that? How the fuck do you know any of that?
Okay, so here's a little funny part. Here's a funny part right here. All right, so everyone leaves the everybody leaves the cabin. They leave the cabin. So Ellis gets thrown back against the wall. Ellis hit the wall so hard he wanted no more parts. So Mel Ryan, do you also think it is important detail when Drunk Henry specifically mentions that Miranda could sing well, especially considering how music and melodies seem to be so important? I don't know. It may be a throwaway line of just Henry kind of mourning and remembering Miranda. It seems like Miranda was multi-talented. She could paint, she could sing, probably play instruments. So I think I don't know. What if it turns out that Tabitha could activate the dolls by singing? Because we heard the singing that was Tabitha as a young girl. And it may be singing that allows her to activate the dolls and maybe even control them. So maybe what Henry said while he was drunk could be somewhat foreshadowing how the dolls can be used to possibly attack the monsters, and the dolls can be controlled. So okay, so House of Mystics was I said what House of Mystics had been typing already. Hold up, did I miss something? So House of Mystics says Amanda is the man in yellow, so she is a reincarnation. Okay, I think I'm caught up. So Amanda says, I go to type a comment, and at the end, I see someone else just said it. Yeah, it is. Okay, so House of Mystic says that saying that we all think alike, or all thinking alike. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, I think Amanda may be Sophia. So Sophia in yellow may be Amanda. Remember yesterday, y'all? I mean, she came with this whole dolls thing. So Amanda may be Sophia in yellow. Amanda in yellow. There it is. If it gets to a point where we get something like this, I'm gonna go and show y'all. This is how you know you're dealing with the dark side. If it gets to a point where Amanda starts saying that maybe, just maybe, the monsters are not bad and we can trust them, then we know it's official. Amanda is Kevin. So we're waiting to hear that. We're waiting to hear, will Amanda say, I think the monsters are not that bad. I think that, because she's already said the dolls are not bad. The dolls are protecting Tabitha. So she's 1 foot in, 1 foot out. When she starts saying the monsters are not bad, we can maybe trust the man in yellow, trust Sophia. I'm going to be like, okay, Amanda, you're officially Kevin. You're officially Kevin. I can save Jasmine. Jasmine's misunderstood. I think we should trust the monsters. They're not all that bad. They're here to protect us. Then it's official. Yeah, Amanda is Sophia in yellow. Yeah, right. Said right, B. Brock. This is Amanda's favorite part. Opening up the window, letting in a friend. So once friends start coming in, then we know, yeah, we got to start giving side eyes, and it's time for Amanda to move to the bottom of the church. She's going to be down there with the boy in white or the girl in white. It's time to just go ahead and move to the bottom of the church. Look right here. Spade, you're wrong. We should trust them. Trust the dolls. They're protecting Tabitha. They're going to protect us. I can save them. You're wrong. I can save them. Don't do it, Amanda. Don't do it. The dolls can't be trusted. Don't take the risk. I can save them. I can save the dolls. I don't know. The dolls look a little crazy to try to trust them. Okay. There we go. So Mike says Amanda's had a wild journey tonight. I agree. Look at this. It's so wild. We're inviting the dolls to the party. That's how wild it is. The dolls can be trusted. I can save them. I can save the dolls. The dolls can be trusted. I can save them. I don't know. I don't think the dolls can be trusted. I don't think they should be trusted, but okay. Sorry. So Ellis just got thrown into the wall. We're going to see how Ellis reacts from being thrown into the wall. Ellis wanted no more smoke. Ellis got thrown into the wall so hard he was done. Ellis was done. There it is. There it is. All right, so we're going to go to the part where yesterday during the chit chat, I was like, I'm going to play the scene where we see the doll not sure what the next scene is supposed to be. Maybe the doll didn't read the script because the doll was looking confused. Wow. So Amanda says, can't trust the monsters, but in From and War, enemies can become friends. Wow. Enemies can become friends. That's all I'm hearing is I can save her. I can save all of you. I can help you go home. That's what we're doing. Amanda has officially joined the dark side. I just read, can't trust the monsters, but in From and War, enemies can become quote-unquote friends, which is similar to what the kimono woman told Elgin. Help me, Elgin. I can save you. I can save all of you. I can help you go home. And look, Mel Ryan is saying, can you blame him? So Mel Ryan has joined the Kevin train. You're going to open up the window? Mel Ryan, you're going to open up the window and let in a friend. As Amanda has said, quote unquote, a friend. Are you going to open up the window to let in a quote unquote friend? That's what we're doing. You know what? I think some of y'all need to just go in the box. Just be just like Frank and just put yourself in the box. You're not thinking straight. You're not thinking straight. You all are trying to save people. And from in war, friends become enemies. What are we doing? Because sooner or later, you're going to say that Jasmine's not a monster. Jasmine's not a monster. The dolls are not that bad. The kimono woman reminds me of my grandmother. We falling off, y'all. So Mel Ryan says, I was talking about Ellis with the doll. Sure you were. Sure you were. Sure you were. Sure you were. Okay. So we're gonna get to the part where the doll, like one of the dolls gets defeated, and once that doll gets defeated, I think they were supposed to edit out a certain part, but they forgot to edit it out. Yeah, I think they forgot to edit. Here you go right here. So this is after the dog is put on fire. Okay, so right now I'm going to take a quick commercial, non-commercial break before we look at this doll and this craziness. All right, so quick non-commercial commercial break, and then we'll come back. What's going on? No, Rawls, the chat is not ended. I took a little break, maybe more than 5 minutes. Yeah, sorry for chewing on y'all's face. I had to drink some water, had to eat something right quick. We're back. All right, we are back. We are back. Okay. So I think the actor inside of the doll suit just didn't know what to do. This has nothing to do with research. I just found this funny. Just standing there, not saying anything, not screaming about being on fire, just standing there. That's it, just walks off. Okay. Just walks off. I thought it was hilarious. Right, gently swaying. Matter of fact, let's do it again. Let's run it back. It's just, it's kind of like, well, what is the point? What is the point? Okay, so now the doll is starting to walk forward, right? So the doll is walking towards them. Then stops and starts swaying, like Mike was just got to saying. You just got through putting Patty's face into a fire pit. And you're on fire. You could easily roll up on them, set them on fire, finish off Patty, and be the hero of your story. No. Doll woman is like, I'm good. What is this? Is this a blooper? So RevStar24 says, I thought it couldn't see them hiding. No, it, yep, I'm pretty sure the doll knows that they're there. I mean, they're all standing up in a circle. See, look, it's walking forward. They're all standing in like a huddle. They're all standing in a huddle. So, okay, this is Ethan, Tabitha. We know Roger is dead inside the log cabin back there. So he's dead. And then this is Donna. And this is Ellis. Is this Patty? Let's back it up. Is that Patty?
What just happened? I remembered how to hurt them.
Tabitha delivered that line so fake. What did Patty have on? Hold on, let me find Patty right quick. Okay, so here's Patty right here. I think she has blonde hair, and then she has on I guess like a some type of like shirt over a shirt. So you see Patty, right? That's Patty. Behind Ellis. Y'all see Patty? Patty's holding her face. Okay, here comes the fire doll. Walking forward. I don't think this is Patty right here. I think this is somebody else. Y'all see that? I mean, I guess it's Patty from behind. What if that is the person who's in charge of the pyro on set? And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing somebody who's in charge of pyro in the shot. Because the doll was starting to go forward towards them. Look, the doll's walking forward. Walking forward, walking forward. Okay, the doll wants that smoke. Then stops, sways back and forth. Then just turns around and walks away. What the hell? Yeah, see, I don't think the I don't think the person that was like in front was Patty, because Patty, I think, was putting her hand to her face the whole time. I think what we saw was a blooper. What do y'all think? That doll said water me. Yeah. Like Ellis had enough and got out. Yeah. That's probably the safety coordinator. Because I mean, I imagine that the actress who's playing Patty is going to have her hand to her face the whole time. Right there. And then look at what Patty's got on. What Patty has on, you can it doesn't appear to be dark. Okay, this is 42, 24. Let's see. Let's go back a little bit. Yeah, so what Patty has on is like a light blue. And you can even see in the yeah, you can see her sweater. Yeah, you can see her sweater at nighttime because it's a light color. Ah, you burnt my face. And so I think the actor inside the doll wanted to make sure that the arms were on fire. Looking at the arms, okay, yeah, that one's on fire. I'm good for the shot. Here comes Donna. Donna gets rushed. Here comes Tabitha. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Tabitha gives the line, and she sounds kind of ridiculous.
What just happened? I remembered. I remembered how to hurt them.
The way Tabitha delivered that line, oh Lord. Oh Lord. Okay. Okay. Okay, so here comes the doll walking forward. Yeah, I think that's the stunt coordinator, the fire marshal. Yeah, this right here is not Patty. That is not Patty. I think we were not meant to see that. Amanda says the doll's thinking, why me? What did I do to you? I'm gonna go now. Yeah. The doll is like, we've had enough. Yeah. I don't think that was Patty. The doll the doll turns around and leaves. Everybody else turns around and starts the scene. Yeah, that was a blooper. I think how it was supposed to go was I think the doll, the person in the doll was supposed to get burned, show the fire, and then we're supposed to see this part right here where the doll just walks away. And the doll is just walking away, not running. Yep. I've had enough. I'm going home. Okay. Okay, there it is, there it is, there it is. So I think we've done enough playing with dolls for the day. I think we're good. So let's see. I think we'll either look at Marielle being a prophet, or yeah, we'll check out Sophia and this whole prophet business either tomorrow or Friday. It'll be a research stream. So either Marielle and this prophet business, or it'll be Fatima and the Golem. Maybe both. Maybe both. We'll see. So Amanda says maybe this is why we see Randall carving the little head. Maybe they will need more in the future. If not, I really hope we find out why he was carving it. Yeah. Maybe that was his profession or a hobby or something before he came into the township. Mm-hmm. Okay. So Red Star 24 says maybe the shot wasn't convincing. Yeah. It just appeared as if a lot of that was supposed to either be reshot, or they were supposed to do more, or maybe that was supposed to be edited out and they decided to leave it as is. It just seemed like we saw either a miscommunication or a blooper. Either way, the doll was on fire, so cool, and we saw someone actually die, so that was cool as well. I would like to see the monsters actually eat someone, or we find out why they're busting open the chests and organs are going missing. Maybe it's the man in yellow coming behind everybody and eating people. I think it's the monsters eating people and drinking their blood. Who knows? All right, so that was the research for the dolls. We had discussion of the doll and the man on the Chit Chat stream last night. I said, you know what? Let's research it up and try to figure it out. I think we've got enough to where we can agree to disagree or have a general idea on what we saw. All right. Right. Raw 7388 says it's some good gore this season. Yeah, it is. So Red Star 24 says I could never be a stunt actor. Being set on fire would be terrifying. Yeah, or having to jump off of a building or jump off a bridge, be in a car accident, or be in a controlled car wreck. All that would be terrifying. I hear with the stunt actors and the stunt. I hear with the stunt actors, a lot of them. A lot of them end up getting hurt for real, and it ends their career. If you're a stunt actor and you get hurt and you can't do any stunts, I mean, there's no career. So Amanda says, "Thank you for bringing up the idea." Yeah, anything we talk about in the during the chit chat or just comment section or something, it's always good to have it as a research stream and come together, get on the same page. I think there's enough there to where if we get more episode 6 on out as far as season 4, we could say, okay, you know what? We thought about that. We thought about this. We're not surprised. Or we're completely surprised. And now we've added more to the layers of the onion that's already there. So Raw 7388 says The Walking Dead had several lawsuits on stunt doubles. Yeah, I think I heard that as far as the walkers people were getting hurt. Most of the time, the stunt actors, they get contracted for one thing and then they get asked to do more, and they end up getting hurt. Yeah, Red Star 24 says there was a horrible accident on The Walking Dead set years ago, and a stunt actor passed away because he fell the wrong way. Yeah. I hear and what's crazy is I hear the stunt actors, they're not really making money like the actual regular actors are. So a lot of them end up living kind of hard lives. Matter of fact, if you ever seen that show, or not show, the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, that shows you the difference. Remember Leonardo DiCaprio's character, who was the actor, he was living in a nice neighborhood in that nice home. But then Brad Pitt, the stunt actor, he's in a trailer. That shows you the difference in the income between the two. And the stunt actor is like, has a greater chance of a career ending situation. So Miss Win LS says, great idea I heard from somebody else. If we could see like before, like we see before from how they were like before coming to From. So if we could see the actors on the show before going into the township, if as far as a prequel, what I would like to see is Victor as a boy and while growing up. That if they're going to do a prequel, that should be the prequel. So, Catastrophe says a trailer. Oh, baby, if I'm risking my life, I need my own separate Airbnb on set. Well, no. I mean, the trailer was like where Brad Pitt was living permanently, not a trailer on to be on set. I'm talking like he was living in a trailer. And from what I've seen, or really what I've heard, is that most stunt actors, they don't really make good money. Like the stunt, they may get paid $60,000 for one or two stunts, but the actor they're doing the stunt for is making like millions. And then on top of that, the stunt actor is paid from the regular actor's contract. So the actor, if the actor has to do stunts, they have to go find a stunt double, and they pay the stunt double basically. But then when you get on set, the director may have you do a whole bunch of crazy stuff that you're not contracted for, but the stunt actor may end up just doing the extra stuff because they want to keep their job and they want to keep getting work in the future. So I hear it's pretty rough. All right, so that's the end of the research stream. So I think now we're going to transition into maybe a chit chat. Yeah, Mike says a prequel to From will be Munch. There it is. There it is. Victor munching on Mary. He met Mary in town. Mary was nice. Next thing you know, to survive, he had to rely on Mary and her nutrients. All right, so we'll go ahead and do. Wow, it's almost been 3 hours. So we're going to go ahead and do a chit chat stream to give people a chance to comment in the comment section. And they may end up doing music to keep the chat open. You know what? Yeah. Okay, so we're getting it together right now. Oh, you know what? Okay. I just read Amanda's comment. You know what? My bad, y'all. So Amanda has said yesterday on the Chit Chat stream that the comments were going really fast, and I said I was gonna do something to slow down the comments. I forgot. I just remembered when she typed "Yay Chit Chat." Jess and I were saying while this channel has been the best from leader and the best from lead, we encourage each other, never a dull moment. The comments keep coming. When I read the comments keep coming, I was like, oh, I forgot I was supposed to slow down the chat. So my bad, y'all. Well, not y'all, but my bad, Amanda. Amanda mentioned that. I said I was gonna do that. I forgot. I thought I had everything worked out, but I forgot to slow down the comments. So oh well. I'll remember for next time. Because, well, you know what? With the Chit Chat stream, those comments do go kind of fast. Maybe I could do that for the Chit Chat stream. I straight forgot. Let's see. Yeah, right here, slow mode. So I just enabled slow mode, where it goes 1 minute. And you know what? I can control it. We'll do for this current stream that we're about to end, even though we're at the end, it's going to be 1 comment every minute. So that'll slow everybody down. And then for the chit chat stream, I'm going to do it right now. I straight forgot. And I just remembered from Amanda's comment. We'll also go slow mode for the chit chat stream. So I put the chit chat stream, I pinned it to the top. You'll also be redirected. And we're about to do that right now. So I'll try to remember to do slow mode on the chat going forward for the live streams. It's real easy to do. I just got to remember to do it or make myself a note. So sorry about that, but we're going to transition into the chit chat stream. So there it is. All right, research complete. We probably will do either a research stream tomorrow or Friday. Fatima's golem and or Mariel being a prophet, and then we'll go from there. And then, I mean, I'm not going to do anything on Saturday because From comes on Saturday for me, and I got to be in position and ready. So yeah. So thanks for watching. If you want to be redirected to the chit chat stream, you'll be redirected automatically. The link is down there. It's been pinned to the top. If you want to join over there. Okay, so Amanda says it's just new and awesome. Okay. Yep, on this channel, it really does feel like a family. Okay. Okay. So Rawls7388 says that they watch it on the Fire TV. So that means you basically saw the doll on fire while watching it on your Fire TV. There you go. There you go. Sounds like a conspiracy. Sounds like Kevin letting Jasmine in. Jasmine's friendly because she's beautiful. Let me open up the window. Raw7388 saw the doll be on fire watching on the Fire TV. There you go. Kevin's on fire. Rawls is on fire. All right, so let me end it there. See you on the chit chat if you want to be redirected. I'll be over there in a minute. Thanks for watching.